today we are doing a edit. We're using Lightroom to edit some long exposure photos. I just wanted to let y'all know that oh, that photo is trash. You didn't see that, right? Just wanted to show y'all how we edit the photos, the long exposure photos in Lightroom. And we took a bunch of photos with Calvin the other day, but we didn't have time enough to do a video on it. So I was gonna do an editing video first on how we did these and how to get the best out of these, but we're gonna probably do a video on how we got these photos. Again, this is gonna be a video only on the editing part of, like, you know, how to edit long exposure photos with you know, this type of trail light or light painting. I'm also outside and it's really hot, so I couldn't not leave the fan on because it's like 45 degrees or so. It's 500 degrees. I don't know, it's really hot. So we're just gonna go through these and see what we can get. So my idea was to do like a campaign for Air Forces, and if you're a sneakerhead like me, you know what I mean, because Air Forces is probably the dopest shoe of all time. Again, you can't really hear me, so whatever you say don't really matter to me. So we're just gonna do like a little crop like that, and just gonna bring up the exposure a little bit, add some contrast, maybe 30 is 25 is alright. I'm gonna bring down the highlights so we can get the light coming out, and then bring up the shadows, maybe 50. Bring down the whites a little bit, be down to 60. And again, every photo is probably going to be different, but like, just follow along roughly if you want to get some sort of the same effect. Let me see if I bring up the highlights. See, I kind of don't like that, it's too much. Alright, let's get to the so you got to be careful with the clarity. So you bring it up too much, it's like and then you know, so you just want to bring it up just a tiny bit. Usually new photographers just go all the way to the 100, but like, let's just not do that. We just bring it right, maybe 20, just so it's easy for you guys to follow along. And I want to bring down the vibrance by 25, bring up the saturation, maybe crop a little more so we get rid of that little thingy up there, so it doesn't look very unprofessional. What's the word? Hello? There you go. And we kind of want the subject of the matter to be the shoes, so subject of the matter. Bring it back down. 4x5. I'm okay with that. Fuck it. I don't care. Cool. And we're gonna come down to the tone curve. So like always, we just put 3 dots. Oh shit. 3 dots. So first thing I want to do is I want to bring this down a tiny bit. Bring this down. Alright, bring the shadows down. See? My Air Force is dirty, my Bentley is dirty. Get off my... Thank you, J. Cole. I kind of like this. This is disgusting, but it's kind of cool. Alright, so we just want to change the reds a little bit. So you see it's around here. We have reds because that one that Calvin had, it had like different colors, so he could change the color. So we want to change a little bit of the color to make it look kind of cool. We have a little bit of orange, but yeah, that doesn't really matter. I just want to do this so we can see which colors we had. We have a little bit of green, but I want to make them like a neon-y type of, you know what I'm saying. And we want to add this so it brings out a little bit on these corners, on the corners, on like the, like here. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? We want to get as much color as we can out of these. Ooh. I kind of like this a little more. And want to change the purples a little bit. A little. Nothing is up. A little bit. You know what I'm saying? Then bring up the saturation on the reds a little bit, and then the thing that's gonna really add to these photos is the blue, because the primary color on these photos is the blue, at least on this photo. Bring down the purple, bring down the magenta. Sorry, I just had a little stroke. And then we want to bring up the luminance on the reds a little bit. So if it's too dark, it's going to grab too much attention. We don't want that. We just want it a tiny bit, yeah? And then bring down the blues so it looks kind of cool like that. And then these, and I'm just going to leave that there. Okay, so split toning. So if you bring it all the way up and then you move the slider around, you see what colors you're affecting, right? So I want the blues, but I want them just a tiny bit. So we go at 180. That's too much. Maybe 5. Yeah. And then you bring up these, and then you see the colors you wanna. So I would like to change and have my shadows in a little bit of red, because that's kind of nice, and we have a little bit of red in the back as well. I'm not sure about just like if I want to keep it on the blue or yeah, I'm okay with that. And then we'll bring the saturation down to 5. And then you're gonna add sharpening to 35, and then bring the luminance up so we don't get grain on the photo, or you know, that disgusting thing when you look at it on your phone and you're like, yuck. We don't want that, right? Now this is what I was supposed to do before I started editing. This is the part that's gonna affect the most, right? So the vignetting is the profile correction on Lightroom, but it's not too bad. Yeah, we can have that. So you when you select the enable profile correction, it's gonna bring up the shadows around the corners, because the lens I shot it with is the 10-18 4.5, and it has maybe like 15% vignetting on the corners. So that's what it does, just brings those colors up. And here we can play a little bit. See, you just don't want to fuck, you don't. This is kind of cool too, but we want to keep the blue, right? This is really fucking cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it there. This pink thingy is pretty nice. And we're gonna bring down this a little bit and this up a little bit. And I kind of like this thing, but I mean, yeah, it's cool. Alright, so we're gonna go to the next one. This one is also not too bad. But I usually do like a better job on these. But this one's kind of like, the light is only on one side, so it's not really gonna, you know, not a really big fan of this one. No, I mean, this one I like, but let's just paste the same edit on this one and see how it looks. Again, you gotta make sure that these colors are the colors you had on your photo. So see, it's just no, not really. Let's see, this is Kevin's. I'm just gonna paste the same setting. Let's see how it looks. Kind of cool, but you can't really see the shoe, so I'm just gonna bring up some of the highlights, and then some of the blacks, and then some of the whites, and just add a gradient. Shoop. And bring up the, yeah, that would do, mine. And then you can crop it again, but if I crop it, this green thing is gonna go out, so I kind of like it like this, so I'm probably gonna post it that way. This is kind of cool. Let's just use the same setting because I like the colors that came out of that one, and that pink thing was super nice. Let's see how a 4x5 looks, because that's the Instagram maximum of real estate you could get. Yeah, kind of cool. Kind of cool. Yep, that would do, mate. I want to change the neons a little bit. We're going to put this grading tool here, and then add a little bit of sharpness and a little bit of clarity. Too much. And that sharpness is fucking nuts. And no. Yep. That would do, mine. Alright, let's get to the greens. Let's change the greens a little bit. Nice. Yeah, I like that. And you can also affect the greens here, but I kind of like this. Alright, we're going to use the same colors. Ooh, this one's kind of crazy. We're going to use the same colors. Use the same colors and then the gradient, and we get the same effect. This one was just a test one. Didn't come out so good, and I moved. I mean, if I post it like this, you can't really see it, so I'll probably post it. Fuck it. I mean, we're out here anyways, so. And I'm putting a grading filter, or whatever you call it here, and just make it darker so you can't really see that I moved that much. Yeah, like that. And then we put another one here and make this side brighter. And bring the contrast down, highlights, and bring the shadows up. Yep. Good with that. Yeah, so that's it for today. Consider liking and subscribe. Consider liking and subscribing, I think. I'll see you guys on the next one.